Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here this Monday morning. Got a big show lined up, a special guest here in the studio. But first, our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. We're looking at a good week. We got all kinds of exciting things going on, some good shows lined up, but let's go ahead and move on into today's weather. High 92. Folks, it's hot, and it was fascinating. We're into October now, so think about all the great things to do in October, but we're getting off to a hot start. Hopefully, I promise you sometime in October it's going to cool down some. Our low 73 and our our water temperature is actually 84. Now let's do our Monday moon phase brought to us by Mountain Dew. Take it outside with Mountain Dew. We're just getting off of it. We're just starting a new moon. Tonight to have a little sliver on it. The full moon of October will be around the middle of the month, around the 15th and 16th. So that's really important. There's going to be some fine fishing right there before the full moon of October. So go ahead and make your plans. Our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. We're in a good tide this week. We're looking actually at the strong tide all week. Okay, so we got a low tide. We got a high tide at 6:38. We'll be low tide and a high tide at 10:41 tonight. Okay, and we're looking at marine forecast coming out of the southwest and west at about 5 to 10. Let's take a break and we'll be right back. Welcome back, and look who's here this morning, my buddy Bill.
I warned you about unlocking the door.
I know, he just pops in on us, but we've been trying to get together. You know, we like to do the show together every now and then, and what happens, I'm out of town, and he fills in for me, and then I try to get a hold of him, he's out of town. And speaking of out of town, we got this October. I'm still old school. I do my calendar on this thing here, and you can see mine's filling up, but man, your calendar.
I'm pretty excited about this fall and winter.
Tell folks what you're doing this fall. I mean, your schedule is something else.
The 10th of October is our fly fishing trip to the mountain. We should have some footage from that. I talked to my cousin up there. The water is really low.
It's low up there too?
It's very low, which means that there are only so many. For an old guy, it's easier to walk when that water's low. It's not as fast, but also in the flats type areas on the creek, there's not that many runs where the trout can hide. So I'm really looking forward to low water up there. But that's our 4-day trip. But then I'm very excited about the 16th. I have to be in Tampa for business. And I've got a buddy down there, a colleague who lives there, who's going to the same meeting I am, but then on the 17th and 18th, I'm finally getting to go snook fishing.
And it's been on your bucket list, right?
It's been, I've never snook fished, and trips got changed and canceled, but that's coming up. So Donna's going with me, and she's going to be the camera operator while we're down. She's going on the boat, so it's going to be my buddy Steve and I, and a captain that he uses a lot down there. So we're going with a guide. A young guy's supposed to be very good. And Donna's going to go along and shoot the whole show, hopefully from the boat.
That's cool. But, that's cool.
Jim Lewis and I, November the 1st.
Wait, let's finish on a snook trip. What part of the state will y'all be fishing for those snook?
We're in Tampa, is all I know. Just somewhere in Tampa Bay down there.
That's been on a lot of our bucket lists to go catch some snook, and they have them down there, and that's going to be fun.
Apparently doing real well. He said, there's a lot of snook. They're catching some redfish, and I said, I don't care anything about catching all the redfish I want. I said, I want to go catch snook.
That's right.
So somewhere in Tampa Bay, but I have all the details and the young guy's name, the captain that we're going to go with. So I'm very excited about it.
So you got your snook trip, but that's just the beginning of it. What else you got?
Well, this sounds kind of bad. November the 1st, Jim Lewis and I will be up in Georgia at a Southwind plantation. I think a couple other people are going on that. So we're going to quail hunt up there for 3 days.
That's around that Albany, Thomasville area, down in there. I've been by
beautiful plantation up there. So we're gonna hunt there for 3 days, and then end of November, I have another colleague, a guy that I do a lot of business with in Columbus, Ohio. Mm-hmm. So we're actually going up for an Ohio State-Penn State game at Ohio State.
That'd be special.
It's supposed to be a big, Ohio State, last time we were there, we rode around the campus. It'd take you 2 days to drive around the campus. It's huge.
Yeah.
And he's got a motor home. He's a big booster, and we're going to tailgate and spend the day out there, the weekend out there. And so, yeah, that's kind of a fun trip. But then I'm going back to...
It's not over yet.
No, it's not over yet. Okay. I've got one more in December. I'm going up, Don and I are with Jim and Carol to Iowa, and we're going to pheasant hunt again. But this time it's kind of, after Christmas till the 2nd. So I'm going to have 4 or 5 days it's easier for me to be gone at that time. So and that in addition to, Dalton and I have, we sold our property. We have the new lease. We've been getting ready for that, all excited about doing that kind of hunting. So and October, it's time to fish. And so I got to squeeze in some red fishing with Greg.
I'm glad somebody else is busy too. But listen,
I didn't do much this past year like a lot of people.
I know.
And this is kind of falling in place.
Catching up. And I'm glad. I'm so glad you can do all these. And the big thing on your lease, I'm tickled. You got on the lease with a friend of mine, Jack Ball, and those guys. I've been up there before. You're going to be on a fine lease with some fine hunters.
Dalton and I both joined independently. They had 2 places open. Russell Pfizer, young guy, just a tremendous outdoorsman. Of course, Howard, we were taking him fishing when he was 4 years old, so he didn't have any choice really, but he's a great guy, and he's the one that told us about it. Russell's up there. I know one of the guys up there is a retired firefighter that from years ago, so there's only 8 people, and it's like 1,600 acres, so we're real excited about that.
I've quail hunted at least years ago, and it's a great location. Are you going to take your camper up there? Your camper be there?
Yeah, they've got an area, so Dalton and I have that own that camper together, so we're gonna put it up there. And, I'm looking forward to it.
Whew, I'm tired already just listening to all these plans.
I know. I was at Jim's house last night, and we were kind of coordinating the
but you still tell people you're still working, right?
Yes,
still working.
Yes, full time. Well, sort of full time.
So you're October.
Sort of full time.
Sort of full time, but that's cool. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Sitting here with my fellow outdoorsman and good friend Bill Allen, and I hope your schedule in October this fall is not as busy as his, but man, y'all going to be having some good outdoor trips.
Making up for lost time.
I know it, and we all should be doing those kind of fun outdoor activities.
When the hurricane hit October the 10th, we were scheduled to leave for the mountains October the 11th.
We were going to leave on the 11th.
Yeah, and so I missed that and the spring trip for obvious reasons, and that's the first time in 15 years that I've missed a single trip going up there and fly fishing in the mountains, and I dearly love that. So.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We're going to try to get up there with you and all, but my schedule filling up too. Speaking of schedule, mark October the 8th. That's next Tuesday night. And I said a while ago this is October. Actually, it's the last day of September, but we're basically mentally in October. Next Tuesday night, I have the Wild Beast Feast on my calendar at Highland Park Baptist. They're going to put it together. I'm going to get Bill Dozier on here to talk about it, but go ahead and put that on your calendar for next Tuesday night, the Wild Beast Feast at Highland Park Baptist. And last year, it was scheduled the night of the hurricane, and they lost. I was talking to them the other day. There's a group of men that really worked really hard on it. They lost $8,000 worth of meat from the freezer, power going out, so this year they bounced back that quick. Speaking of bouncing back, you're still not in your house. Basically.
No, but last week we got a roof. So we have a roof, and Donna met with the contractor over there, Benny Moore. You know Benny? Great builder. They met with the electrician, and we took some walls out and so things had to be changed around. But he's scheduling our north wall being rebuilt and all those things. So we're hoping, first part of the year we'll be in the house.
Yeah, well, that's amazing. People outside of the area still don't realize how many people are still out of their house.
Yeah. And we have been,
Yeah.
we've been blessed. We don't have anything to complain about. We've always had a place to live. We're not living in a camper on our property, so which is fine, and I know people are very grateful to do that. But from between friends and colleagues, we've had a place to live.
Yeah.
Now we've moved 3 times, but that's just part of it.
Yeah, and the big thing is finding help. Chip was by the house yesterday telling me about one of his high school buddies that lives up at Deer Point. He's got $180,000 in the bank from the insurance company, waiting and trying. And he grew up here. He knows people. He's still trying to get people to come in. And
it doesn't
you grew
matter.
up here.
Yeah, it doesn't.
But they can't get help. Nobody.
You can't get help. There's still some of my favorite places to eat, like restaurants that are only open part-time because they don't have enough people to open full-time. And so, it's tough. But, when you lose your home, your apartment, your whatever, and your job in the same 3.5 hour period, you got to go somewhere. So I understand that, but I know everybody's working really hard to get housing built back as quickly as possible and do those kind of things. We can, get people back here who, it's a great place to live, obviously. And a lot of people do want to be here. You just have to be able to make a living.
We're going to get more and more people here. All right, let's get back to hunting and getting ready for hunting and all. And about a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, I showed this DIY, do-it-yourself deer blinds, this little site on Facebook. And I watch every night somebody sending in pictures of their deer blinds. And y'all going to have your deer blinds, y'all going to be in stands up there or what?
We put up a week or 2 ago now, Dalton and I went up and we put up a new ladder stand that we've got, and feeders and stuff which are out. But then we also, I'm going to hunt a little bit from a ground blind this year. There's a bluff there that's just absolutely beautiful that Russell showed me. So we've got that situation set up, and I've never done that before, but I'm gonna hunt from a ground blind.
I started several years ago with that ground blind build, and I love it. You can get a comfortable chair in there. And I just really, really like it. And you see a lot of game. You've got to make sure you have some shooting lanes and all that and have it open up in there. Yeah. But let's show this one real quick while we're here. One of the popular things now, this is from a guy, I forget where he's from, but look, that's just a big old water tank, okay? So what he did, they cut out the windows.
That is truly recycling right there.
This is cool. So they cut out the windows, okay? And then, I guess he painted it. There's a truck behind it so you can put it what size it is. And I think
he did a good job. Either that's painted or he's got some kind of cover, but that looks like
I don't know if that's a tape or paint. I can't quite tell. He didn't really say, but you can see what the size of it. And then, of course, there's a ladder and all. But anyway, that's that all. Now
I love it. I love that. Well, it's a little bit cumbersome, I guess. You're going to need some help to put it up. But
it's I think going to leave it on the ground like that.
I'm sure he is. But getting it to the point.
You know what a lot of people are doing now? They're building platforms 6 to 8 feet off the ground and then putting structure on top of it, like ground blinds.
Yes, and I saw some of those when I was, going through, getting ready. But they're just platform structures that you put together like you would a climbing stand, and then you put that on top of it. So it looks like a pretty cool idea.
I wish I would have had someone with me about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I was at my granddad's place. I was going to build me a platform, and I would get 3 legs, and I was by myself. Well, usually I had somebody with me. I was by myself. I had those 4x4s built, and then I put a little cross brace. So I got this corner, that corner, and then I had a little cross brace. And when I tried to get that 4th one in, the whole thing just started falling. Well, the first time it sort of made me mad. It made me frustrated. It did the same. I went to the other corner. It did it.
And then it gets funny.
Wait a minute. It did it again the second time. And I sort of giggled. I said, "This is funny." So I went to the 3rd leg, okay, and tried another angle. 4 times. By the 4th time, I was just cracked up. I was laughing out loud by myself out in the middle of the woods. They're laughing because you got to have somebody help you. If they just hold it, and I got to get those crossbows. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, and I always have someone with you. And sometimes I think you were at work, and it was like a Wednesday morning. I was up there, but I wish I'd have filmed myself laughing at it because it was hilarious. It's like Leaning Tower Pizza. It just started going like that.
Yeah.
And I knew I couldn't reach it, and boom, there it was. So y'all all set up there then, for your blinds and all, your feeders and
yeah, we've got
food
cameras
plot.
out and all that, and but of course, I with my shoulder, I don't bow hunt anymore.
Yeah.
But I've got that crossbow, that 10-point that is just deadly. It's time. If you haven't been doing it, obviously it's time to shoot. You need to get the crossbow out, get your bow out, make sure the first thing, and I've bow hunted like my entire life, but check the cables, check your bow strings, make sure you don't have any wear. They get nicked every now and then, or sometimes they just get worn out. So you check all those, make sure they're waxed good. Those little not cotter pins, but those slip-on pins at the joints, put a little bit of oil in them, and make sure your sights are correct.
All those little things important.
Everything adds up.
And I was just showing them out of this Woods and Water, the top 10 bucks and top 20. It had 2 categories, top 10, top 20. I was showing them, fascinating. 9 out of 10 were taken before Christmas. The top 10, the ones I charted. 9 out of 10, then like 17 out of 20 were taken. There were like 3 taken in January because we were talking about the rut. Let's get that big buck during the rut. But most of them are doing it now. That's the trend now. It's been fascinating to watch that. And that's what you're talking about.
It is. Getting out now,
Yeah.
they're not spooked because there's not a ton of people in the woods.
And once those people get in the woods,
they get a little more spooky.
Let's take our final break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. We're back. Fishing game time for today. Brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. I was down there the other day, and folks, that is just a fascinating store. They got so many things in there for fishing, hunting. You go there
all the time.
It's fascinating, isn't it? It's got something for everyone. And my book now.
And Donna goes there.
Gail and the girl.
That women's section over there, the sportswear.
Yeah, they sell a bunch of stuff.
Why they sell a bunch of it to Donna.
And our granddaughters love that. We buy a lot of presents, those shirts and all for them from that corner right there.
Yeah, I always talk to those guys over there. They're outdoors people, and it's they've got hunting, they've got fishing, they've got sportswear. It's just you pretty much find it if you need it.
Well, Bobby and all those guys there, they are on the water too. They work there, then they go fishing, or fish and go working. And so if you want some good information on
we had to run up there the first day of scallop season when I had that battery problem.
That's right.
And folks, we went in there in desperate for batteries for my flats boat.
Yeah.
And not only did he have them, but it's the first place that I've ever seen, you may not, it was the first place I've ever seen they had the boat batteries in there, and he had a trickle charger on them. You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
So if they've been sitting there for 3 months or 4 months, I don't know how long battery, but we go over there and there's a trickle charger sitting on these new batteries to sell. We knew when we got those and put them in that they were going to be fully charged.
Yeah.
I thought that was a neat idea.
It's a great idea. That's kind of character and all, that kind of business they run over there.
Yeah.
Speaking of fishing, we're getting ready for fall fishing.
Oh, man.
Okay, we had talked about hunting last segment. Let's talk a little bit about fall fishing. Let's go to freshwater. We didn't talk about freshwater much. The houseboat down at Howard Creek, Bill Shields. Is it still operable and all? And
yes.
Still.
The standoffs and things, Bill and Tommy, his cousin, they met down there, and I was out of town, but they redid the way the standoffs are and everything, but a family of raccoons got in there, and according to Bill, They opened every cabinet, they pulled everything out that was in there, and it looked like the place had been trashed by burglars.
Oh man, tell Bill he could have got some great video from that.
I swear, yeah, it should have, but I mean,
one of the game cameras.
You know, that's what happens. You know, we haven't been down there.
Yeah.
You know, Bill had the knee replacements and those kind of things, and so, you know, we haven't been there. We haven't fished. We haven't done the normal things that we would do. But man, they got in there, and they opened everything. They opened every box. It was just all the doors were open. Looked like it had been completely trashed.
That is funny. That is funny. So,
but it is. They went down there, did a lot of work on it, getting ready for. You know, squirrel season, which is another thing. You know, we got a river that's really low.
Yes.
And last year, I doubt there were very many squirrels killed because there wasn't any dry land. Mm-hmm. So I'm really looking forward to that, you know, with my sons and my grandsons and that kind of thing.
Whoa, do you remember what weekend it is? I haven't checked the calendar.
No, I got
We'll find out for you.
In November, that third week in November.
We'll let y'all know.
I don't know.
Tomorrow.
You have to look it up. Yeah.
And so that's coming up soon. Y'all be camping out, but the river is so low now. It's like 0.9, 0.3, whatever.
Yeah, like Bill said, you can see under it.
Yeah.
It's so low.
Yeah. Getting back to these raccoons and squirrels and all, if you don't have check it on regular, they'll take it over. And
they will absolutely.
I had that squirrel. Y'all saw the video. I got some good feedback on that squirrel down at my fish camp. How he wanted to just homestead right there. But anyway, freshwater fishing is going to be good.
Yes.
This fall, real good.
It is good right now. So these guys that I'm talking to, they're wearing them out.
They're doing real good in both rivers, and because they're sort of concentrated in those holes. Real quick, we're not going to finish. We're going to run out of time. Well,
Big surprise.
I'll tell you right now, we'll finish. You come on tomorrow and we'll finish this up. But what we want to do, we're going to talk about some fall red fishing, because Bill is one of the top red fishermen around when it comes to catching them in the fall, and if you get it in the calendar. and Greg,
we'll get it in the calendar.
And Greg, and we've had some good fall trips. All of us.
Oh
have.
Man.
So we'll talk about that tomorrow. We don't have time to get into it now. We've only got about a minute left. Today's Monday. You got to go to work today?
No, absolutely.
I hate that.
I got to change clothes, go to work.
Okay. Well, we'll come back on tomorrow because we got that video. We're going to talk about us cooking over your house. We're going to have that video on tomorrow.
At our temporary house.
Your temporary house. Okay. We're going to wrap it up for today. We'll finish this up tomorrow. Y'all have a great day. Do something good today for your fellow man. Enjoy the great outdoors, and God bless.
Amen.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.